What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Cousin Cecil Show. I'm your host, Mike Fowler, aka Cousin Cecil. How are you? How's your week? Have you been a good one? How was you got your are you playing Horizon Forbidden West? Huh? Are you I know I missed last week, but we'll talk a little bit about that, but did you see anything cool from the the goddamn Nintendo Direct, which I actually have really high praise on because I thought they did really well. We'll talk about it. But just not too bad here. I like obviously feels not like even like a fucking elephant in the room, but the idea, I missed last week. Honestly, just beat, just in the sense of tired, and then also my work kind of got to me in a sense of it got to me so bad. I'm looking for another job, and then I have this Tuesday I have a interview and I've never technically done this job in my life, but I've been looking at taking a step back and you know what? It was my gig I was doing right now, just cooking. It was a quick buck in that idea, and I also there's a lot of things in my my setup of life that I have to hold in my head of man, I gotta do this, and I also gotta worry about this and this and this like normal people, and it gets into my mentality seeps into the way I look at things, and also even how my TikTok algorithm gets, and those how the TikTok algorithm does so well and knows you so well. I get these videos of, well, besides my handicap videos I see, and either for some I get a lot of single mothers, or I guess they are single. Maybe they are, but mothers that are also OnlyFans, business women, and then also just more funny. I get the classic. I get quick humor, ones that would be under Vine pie speeds, maybe not 7 seconds, but the idea I get that quick humor stuff, and also handicap and chicks that are definitely in the motherly single mother / OnlyFans department. But I digress on that. But the videos I'm saying my algorithm I get seeped into is the ones that involving what would be that working. I don't want to say the working man mentality, or that. The father mentality that they don't the unspoken spots of mental health for guys. That I get that for some reason. I don't even go looking for it. That's where it gets into goddamn TikTok. You know me. But the idea the last video I saw was once was just someone saying, if you ask a guy, especially a father, how they doing, they just say I'm fine. But that I'm fine means, a lot more shit. A lot more. Way more. Could be just about, I'm nervous. Could be thinking about how am I going to provide better? How am I going to do this? And how to do that? You know what I mean? And then, my work, I'll, of course, I like any relationship. It's a 50-50 road of some shit's not working. Maybe it's also you and your views. But yeah, my this cook gig, it's not cutting it. It's I definitely have more of an outlook looking at previous work and seeing, wow, I thought that was not even bad. I'm like, man, I couldn't stand that and it was I was young and dumb. Of working at I'm not trying to say my old establishments and stuff, but I was man, I gotta get out of this this kitchen, clearly this is going to be the grass is greener on the other side. And I've been walking, and then I went, and this current cook gig was like was my first kitchen, my first cooking spot since I left the casino. And I was like, you know what? I messed up in that sense of like, I was, you talk smack about where you worked before, and also, I was there for 10 years, got a little jaded, and then to come into a full circle, realize, you know what, that kitchen is way better than a lot of other kitchens, even though I don't have that many experiences, but also like what I grew up with and all that shit. But this current idea of a job is kind of a thing I've noticed with one of the jobs I try to spread my wings on before COVID / get out of the casino. I'm also, as you've seen with how I do special episodes, I'm not going to put it out there until it is done. And if I get get the okay, yep, you're going to work there. But what I'm trying to get to is this job I feel will be, A, it's my first time ever doing it. B, but it has some things that I liked in certain jobs, but I feel this one does not have the anxiety overlaying of like a commission-based spot. Because this one will be something that I enjoyed with that commission spot, but also I didn't like the commission spot of the idea of like, if you don't get these, you don't get paid, blah, blah, blah. This one allows you to work alone. And I'm actually looking forward to that part in the sense of I'm also looking forward to having another moment of getting back into some podcast listening. This current, obviously with the current, with kitchen work, you can't wear headphones in this spot because you're getting called to, you're getting orders called to you. There's not like a ticket system where, for my position of like, hey, just read the ticket, you can just bring it up. You know what I mean? You have to, it works how that shit works. But again, I know I talk very spun in circles. It goes into how I believe how my life manifests. I don't like to pull it out there into the real world until I do it, in the sense of, because I feel like if I have a problem with lying, in the sense of like saying like that shit of like, yeah, I'm going to go do that. And then you don't do it because you're a lazy fuck. And that's how I feel about myself. You know what I mean? So I try to keep it close to the chest until it actually happens. But yeah, Tuesday morning, I have an interview. And it sounds like I will get it, just because either they're desperate or the idea of it's not like it's not that hard of a gig, I hope. Because that's another thing too. I am definitely, which I've been trying to tell my stepson, only because he's the oldest, in the sense of he's closest to like laying the groundwork out for like, you need to start thinking about the future. And I've been trying to tell him, don't be like me. I'll say this to all my kids. I've said it to all my kids. Don't be like me. Don't be me. And it's because of that I think I'm a little stooped up with with regrets, and not in the social regrets, if that's the right term, but the idea of dropping out of college and not sticking through that, and like thinking you know better, like in all that side of the world of your life. And just to find out, hey, you could have a lot easier and less stressful life if you just go through the things you say you hate, as in i.e. schooling or teaching, or not teaching, learning and going through the schoolwork part of it, and to go into a job that's, it's not about stress, but the idea that you are like the ground level of salaries are way more than non-college life of that sense to them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to say. Don't be like me and try to stick to college and all that shit. But yeah, that was a good 10-minute life podcast. I'll see you next. But yeah, it's been me again. We'll see. Next episode will probably be the verdict, and also probably nope. I can still do it how I want to about recording. So I digress. But all right. What are some things I will get into? I think real quick, I do think it's funny. This is like me highlighting a joke I saw on Twitter about a pop culture thing. That Paul Dano, the guy who's playing the Riddler in the Batman, the newest little news headline is he was so terrified of like the psyche of the Riddler that he had trouble sleeping while filming the Batman. And I saw today someone on Twitter goes, he slept like a baby during him doing 12 Years a Slave. What a great Twitter joke. But yeah, let's get in. Actually, you know what? I forgot about how the show should be formulated. We'll go right off into that. What have I been playing? Just more. We'll do it slow. I was going to talk about Horizon and about not too fucking spoilery. But before that, I did not realize it until it came out, Horizon. I was in a real rut of like playing anything because I played Sifu. And I only I died in the hallway, which is basically right after the tutorial. And that's me, lowballing of like how much time that is. And I did not touch it after, because I was like, I want to at least try to be as young as I can in that game. So that's still on the burner. Far Cry 6. I started. It's okay. It is definitely turn off brain comfort food, but right now that's not what I want. That's not the comfort food I want. I don't want first person shooter comfort food. Besides, okay. I don't want Far Cry comfort food. What I've been playing before that, or during this time of waiting for Horizon, is obviously Destiny 2. I've been getting not geared up. Besides, I was able to obtain the Galhorn again because of obviously that's the shtick. Get it again because obviously it was only in Destiny 1. In those, I'm telling you right now, even that dungeon is basically to get the Galhorn, you have to do a whole 3-person raid, which are called dungeons, or you can do it single if you could. But they made a whole dungeon out of a meme because the Cosmodrome has been back in Destiny 2, and you could go back to the loot cave, the elusive loot cave from Destiny 1 that people have loved. They even put they've done little captions there. I think they put a gravestone there. But now this dungeon comes out of the loot cave. You go in there, you do a whole little setup of that, collecting fake engrams, put them in a crystal, and it opens up and it makes a big, giant dungeon involving things that are, but I'm trying to get to is they are on the top of their game on gameplay, fun for a first-person puzzle game, like to make puzzles for a first-person shooter. I don't think Bungie is touchable compared to other studios. I think that's the correct term. And this one in particular, this dungeon, the Grasp of Art Vice, it is just excellent in the sense of like lore. You can go pick up these little audio logs of people or this ragtag crew finding engrams and then like basically losing their mind inside this like these crystallized walks, like just a big giant thing. But I obtained the Galhorn, and I've been kind of collecting void exotics because of some of the bigger news that came out of the Witch Queen's like previews is a little bit more about. Okay, let's backtrack. Hey, on Tuesday, 2/22/2022, the Witch Queen is coming out, and this is going to be their biggest expansion since in this like kind of like what is it? This was like a Forsaken level size expansion. And it will be definitely more closer to how Destiny the Taken King from the original one molded how they set up add-ons from there. The Witch Queen will be the one that's going to reshape and mold how their DLC is formed, so on. And it comes with like obviously new landing spots. Witch Queen involves basically Oryx, the Taken Kings, who we killed in Destiny 1. His sister Savathun has probably been the biggest enemy that's been teased in Destiny lore since Destiny 1, who is finally here, blah, blah, blah. And she has her own throne world. She has also been able to harness light herself, and she has made Hive-esque Hive Guardians with light powers, blah, blah, blah. But let's get in. That's stuff you can go read into. But the things that are new in the previews for us players is Witch Queen is going to bring out this new. Well, it's going to break down the subclasses, which Beyond Light, which is the current add-on, had a very broken down version of to do stasis, which was kind of like we got our first little taste of using the darkness power as a guardian, blah, blah, blah. Witch Queen will be the first one that we're going to slowly break down all the light powers, and the first one is going to be Void. So they're calling it Void 3.0. Back to that, Guardians can have there's a solar power, electric power, or this Void power, which is purple, blah, 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 that can do really for Void, there's of course they do damage, but the idea like another backstep of like describe what Void is like it's way to nerf somebody and then you can do like top tier damage towards them is another set of Void. That's just so anybody who's never played Destiny, who's lived under a rock or anything, I'm just being nice to you right there. But it's going to break down Void into a Void 3.0, and we can kind of do more very different random setups for your Void character, how Stasis has done in Beyond Light. And apparently, like the next, they're going to do it again for Arc and Solar, blah, blah, blah. But, so, some of the things that came out of it is some of the new perks might be some older perks from previous game that were so overpowered, so people have been gathering their Void exotics for their armor to be kind of prepared, because another thing they're also doing, which they've done before, but they're going to let you can play the campaign on legendary mode, which is basically just, a hard mode. And it gives you, it kind of also helps you if you are into that. You can reach past the soft level cap of 1500, and you can be 20 points above that by the time you're done with the campaign. And that's 20 points past that soft cap is actually really huge in the sense of like being 20 points and you're like still in week 1, week 2 of Witch Queen. It gives you a way bigger playing field of like, okay, now you can just go each week and get a pinnacle or be really into it. And you can be on a fire team that can actually do the raid almost on the same launch week of the raid or like, a week after, whatever. But like it gives you a really better base playing field if you want to try to do some of the more end game stuff of Destiny. And then, so I've been looking forward to that because that honestly has been really nice. And I was able to also do some quick catch ups on some of the quests that I've been holding on to that what is it? Like they would have been behind barriers of like, oh, you had to wait to week 3 to start this part of it. Since I'm on the, I started a week and a half before the season was over. It was all unlocked, so I got to push it all through in like 2 days. So it was kind of nice to get some exotics through that way too. And then I got to play the last mission of the season, which was the exorcism, because they do really well battle pass seasons. Maybe not the rewards, but the idea of, hey, we're going to tell a story in this season. So this current season is called Season of the Lost. Savathun, without me spoiling it, has technically been talking to us for years inside the brain of this guardian we've saved since the first DLC of Destiny 2 of Osiris. She has been inside his mind this whole time. In Season 15, we kind of froze him / froze her, and we're going to exorcism her out of her worm, which is a lore for the thrall that we don't need to get into. But basically, like the higher power thralls have like worms that are ones they hold their power, blah 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 blah. Long story short, the exorcism does really well. They did have a weird glitch at the end that I didn't get to watch the cutscene, and they are still working on that, but I got to watch on YouTube. It was a really good, kind of mediocre, but it was really well. I didn't mind it, but it was a good ending of this season and getting us prepared for Witch Queen, which is out next in a couple days. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah. And then for this week, I got Horizon Forbidden West, and the game is very really good. It is definitely now let's take another step back. I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn since probably the same year it came out. So was it 2017 that came out? I think it was 5 years ago. Yep. So, and I was on a base PS4, and it was a really great game. This one feels better in the sense of, yes, they have improved the controls. They have improved almost everything around it. But there is one spot. There are some spots that are a little flaky that I'm not ashamed to at least spotlight because I think it deserves to at least be spoken about. The start of this story is very, very shitty in the sense of like, hey, it's been 6 months. And all your conflicts that you've been talking about right now is because, 6 months ago you just kind of walked away, Aloy. Where have you been? So everybody's a little butthurt or like simping over you, or like they love Aloy so much they were like, man, where'd she go? I really wish I could have her step on me. The idea of that part, the foundation of what is like maybe the door of like, hey, when you touch the doorknob of Forbidden West, here's what's going to open the door into a way better story. But that part of pushing the door open to get to the good story, which is, again, I'm only speaking, I've only played, I'm making a fake fucking number in my head. It's probably 5 hours, and that is me for a not even a spoiler in the sense of what I'm going to say. I got to get into the actual Forbidden West now. I've been playing the intro area, doing a lot of they have a lot of side missions. But I got to access. Hey, you can go to the Forbidden West now. Okay. And that's me. I did that very not how it was in the game. But, okay. So, it's very well done. There is some bugs, and not in a sense of this ain't no cyberpunk bugs, but there were, for me, I've seen some cyberpunk-ish bugs, but in the sense of it's like I saw a video of like Aloy swimming in the water, and she's still technically swimming on land, just flying around, flopping around everywhere. Very weird stuff. The things I've witnessed was definitely some of the AI, some of the machines in the world. I think they followed me to a cutscene and they did not know what to do. That stuff, because they weren't supposed to be there. And then I had this, the one last thing I did was I got to meet basically a clan in the Forbidden West. But in my cutscene, my little bracelet, well, not little, there's a big bracelet I got that's a piece of gear. And it was floating maybe 3 feet away from me. But when my arm moved, it was going up. It looked like I had John Cena as my friend, was with a little bracelet. But that idea, that felt it. So I'm trying to guess. There are some. I don't think it's called Uncanny Valley, but there are some moments that have broken my feeling I'm in this world and I'm really focused on and that stuff. And some of it, not like in the bug wise. Some of it was I do skip some of the dialogue now because I get tired. I'm like, listen, I want to beat this game, but I'm like, I can't listen to the extra 2 minutes. I need to cut those 2 minutes of dialogue and let's keep it moving. But that's probably the only negatives for me at this moment. Positive, like I said, controls feel way good. Like, because of that, and then again, as me, as a person who was on a old gen thing, the 60 frames, you can feel it. Going down to 30 frames, you can feel a slowness, but there is, and then we get into that flip side. That 30 frames does have some way good deep details in the graphical region because the 30 frame one is a native 4K experience. And it looks really rich. And we go back to the 60 frames, which I prefer. It is still good, and it's still, you know what? That's where I get into too. Games are great all the time now. It's really hard to, unless you're paying like that 49-cent little fucking weird cheap platinum thing, playing a game right in this day and age, they're going to be fun. And as long as they're fun, sometimes it don't matter. But no, like, I can see the little bit of the checkerboard 4K compared to the native 4K just in this experience. And I'm more shocked I can. But it is fun. It is, after that foundational storyline, and at this moment in time, because it seems like some of those old allies are still going to be involved, so I'm going to see how they are down the road. But after that initial, where were you for 6 months, Aloy? I can tell by your face You've been really serious. Which is, it just seemed like cheap writing. I ain't gonna lie. That part right there. But now the part that I'm at, and I'm unlocking the next steps of her storyline and what is going on, and they did, I'm not going to say it here. They did tease it. And when I say tease, they just showed a person, but they didn't, there was no context. Now I have the context of this person, and I'm very interested to see what that's about. Another spot I'm really interested to see, because I got to experience, forgot her name, but the lady who's the voice actor of the Forbidden West tribeswoman, who's her antagonist, the lady from Black Panther. She's also from that 911 show on Fox. Angela something. Her character seems a little. Right now, I only seen her once, so obviously just her calling out shots. She didn't really talk. I'm really interested to see her story and like things about that. I do see what people were talking about in the reviews, that even some of the side missions are definitely, there are some fetch quests, but I guess they are under the errands thing. But the real side quest ones, they do feel that they have done a definite upgrade of improvement of what do we deserve the player to do compared to the older one, compared to even older games of this. Like the idea that people talk about how the Witcher side quests go into these elaborated stories. Maybe not as elaborate as The Witcher, which I've never played, but the idea of it has definitely went into a more story-driven-esque side mission compared to before. And I enjoy that. I also enjoyed there is a lot more, the exploration involves a lot more puzzle-based figuring out platforming. And that is a give and take, in my opinion, because some like the vast out in the wilderness puzzling feels very loose and okay. And then the one mission I did was basically my last mission I just did was more how would I word it? It was not a cauldron, but it was more deep old times, like the laboratory shit like they've had in their past. Is that feels more like you need to be more tighter with your jumping, and it didn't feel as good as the outside ones. But I do enjoy that it's still platforming puzzle stuff. I'm just more expressing to give it its fair feelings on it. At this moment in time, again, I'm very early into it. I also like the quote unquote, like, it's called Strike, but like the chess game they have. I do like that game too. But right now, 5 or 6 hours in, it's probably, in my honest opinion, it's probably like 4 hours of gameplay, an hour of cutscenes, of like story talking. But I'm gonna give it. It's good. It's like a good 8 right now. It can always go up. I'm not saying I'm done with it. I'm just saying it's a good 8 in the first couple hours. Handful of hours. So hey, and it's getting me out of this rut, because that has definitely been in my sight since it was announced. So yeah. And look at that. That's been a long time for just me, what I've been playing. I'm going to try to figure out how to do this in the sense of, alright, let's say we're going to do this idea first. One story that I missed, which I should be addressing, is the whole Xbox, Activision, Call of Duty debacle of what is going to happen with this accusation. And then the idea of, is Call of Duty leaving other consoles or other platforms. I think that's the correct term, not consoles, other platforms. It turned out, at this moment in time, the first part of this story that was a no-brainer is Xbox said, and PlayStation is, they expect Activision to follow up till who knows what, when's the latest contract. That was definitely a no-brainer. Hey, we've seen that how Xbox has done with Bethesda. That's why we have Deathloop and Ghostwire. Now, the next new thing is, what is it? It turns out Microsoft has either, now this is where it's been rocking. I do not go into real detail looking for it. I don't know if I don't think it's the FCC, but the governmental company that looks over these accusations, basically Microsoft has said, yeah, we're going to keep them on all platforms till the cows come home. They're not going to go away from these platforms. They would actually like to have more Activision games on even the Switch as well. So they're really going to try to push that too. So yeah, that's probably definitely one of the big stories. And then the last week's story was the Nintendo Direct. And I guess I'm going to maybe not go into the deep details I like to do, even though I have them right in front of me. But my first initial thoughts was, after watching that Nintendo Direct, they definitely hit it out of the park. They are definitely, that Nintendo Direct felt like, that was like my Groundhog's Day. When that came up, and let me elaborate how I meant that. When I saw that, I'm like, you know what? Here it is. Here's this year's gaming. The year of 2022 gaming has officially started because Nintendo Direct did a Nintendo Direct that kind of, for my opinion, blew it out of the water. For me, I don't expect anything from them. I don't expect them to give me Metro Prime 4 by now. You know what I mean? I just like to have a good time and watch what they do. From basically an outsider, since I don't have a system. Let's just do a quick fire of some of the things that I was interested in, and we'll kind of keep it low even on expressing the third party stuff. They start off the thing with Fire Emblem Three Hopes, a Dynasty Warrior, basically another Dynasty Warrior Nintendo and then also I like about Nintendo Direct is they don't how I word it. They might not give you dates on all of them, but they would try to say this is going to come out this year. So all the dates I'm going to say are going to be for this year until I say something different. So that Fire Emblem, June 24th this year. So that looks pretty cool. They gave Advance Wars 1+2 another new trailer, kind of showed that also you can build your own maps. And that comes out April 8th. Kind of a more surprise, No Man's Sky is coming over to the Switch. It's going to be out this summer. It's going to be obviously updated to, I don't even know if they're going to be one update behind or because they just announced one. Or they're going to be right up to date with those ones too. I'm assuming knowing them, they'll probably do it and be up to date with everything on No Man's Sky on the Switch. So that's pretty cool. I think that would be a really interesting, that'd be very interesting for for the Switch to get that kind of multiplayer game on the Switch. I think that's a really cool pickup or move to do. Another surprise was Super Mario Strikers Battle League. They're making a new Mario soccer game, and it looks cool. It's called. You can also have up to 8 players play on the one system. You can play online and make up clubs out this June 10th. They showed Splatoon 3 new shit. Square Enix was there, definitely showing off some remasters, and the first one was Front Mission First remake, and they also ended that trailer saying, "Yeah, number 2 is going to be there too. Don't worry." It's going to be out this summer. We'll keep it moving. One of the weirder things for these remasters was I guess Disney, I guess it would be now, they are reissuing the Wii version of Star Wars Force Unleashed, not Force Unleashed 2, the first one that came out with also like a arena fighter-esque like fighting part. It looked weird, but like I think it was interesting. Like you picked the Wii version, like you couldn't get like maybe like the PC version to get like a regular cut of this game. I don't know. I never played on the Wii. And then that's going to come out April 20th. What is it? Yeah, we're going to do that too. You know, they showed Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection Trilogy is going to be coming out February. It's out now. And I haven't seen anybody talk about it, so I don't think nobody's even fucking touching it. But some of the other bigger things was Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, was revealed. I never played it, but it's a beloved game, as well as Chrono Trigger, because it's from the same, I think, universe-esque thing. The trailer was basically giving the pitch of the game. Apparently there are 40 characters who can join your party, and with that, you can get multiple endings. Kind of explains itself right there. And they did the Final Fantasy VII thing with, like, you can turn off encounters and stuff, and also has a... Yeah, let me backtrack that. They basically gave you, like, the PC, like, release, or this is going to go on PC as well, that you can, like, toggle off those surprise encounters in the world, blah, blah, blah. And I'm assuming you can probably turn the movement speeds up like you do in that Final Fantasy VII PC release and like the original classic FF7 before they made remake. Blah blah blah. And what makes this kind of cool is this will have a text-based game that never was released in the States. The prequel called Radical Dreamers, and it's out April 7th. We'll kind of go into that too. Then they showed Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and they showed Kirby has some new tricks with that mouth. And they do, he does mouthful mode, which obviously he can suck up a car and become like he basically can drive a car, or be a car. He can suck up and be able to shoot out like cans out of because you sucked up a vending machine and all that shit. And basically, they show that this mouth can do more than just copy powers. And it looks like a very fun 3D platform Nintendo game with Kirby. I won't lie. Out March 25th. They also show like MLB The Show 22 is going to come to the Switch as well on April 5th. First time ever on the system. It looked like a piece of dog shit. I won't lie, because it's obviously way underpowered. And then again, I am skipping. I feel bad not doing all of it, but just how it is. More of a surprise for me are these next three, and then we'll go into more. But Portal Companion Edition, they're going to bring Portal 1 and 2 with online for 2 coming out this year. I think that's really cool. And then this other game that it catches my eye. I don't know if it's going to come to other systems. I really hope so. There's a game that has never been released in the States called Live Alive from Squaresoft, technically back then, from 1994. It's getting the HD 2.5 treatment, and it's coming out July 22nd. And I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a classic JRPG from Squaresoft that has never been to the States. Is coming over, and I really hope it does come to multiple platforms besides Switch. The trailer caught my eye. I'll just say that. And then more of a surprise, Wii Sports is getting a new game coming to Switch, Nintendo Switch Sports, with classic games, new modes like soccer that can be featured using the leg strap that will be included with the physical editions, and local and online play. April 29th. It already has DLC in the works, including golf is already in the set. And there's been beta testing going on right now from the 18th and 20th of this. So this weekend was beta testing. I saw some people playing it. But no, I think getting a Wii Sports-esque game on the Switch is always a no-brainer. It was definitely a craze that has now become an established thing in the Nintendo world in my head. Because I ain't gonna lie, I think I was thinking, like, that'd be cool to get a Wii Sports in the Switch before the show. Or even afterwards, I'm like, oh man, getting bowling and, like, you know, that'd be amazing to get to play again, especially with younger kids. And then more of, we're going to do like these updates. There's going to be a free update for Metroid Dread. We will have Dread mode, so a one-hit mode. And then there'll be a rookie mode, so an easy mode. And a boss rush mode coming later, out starting in April, these updates. Switch Online will be getting Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings added to their catalog is out now. And then more for me to say before I get to the bigger thing. Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles is coming to the Switch too. So is it Arena? Like that Naruto-esque style fighting game is coming to the Switch. I think it'll be a good to play it. I haven't got to play it yet. It's been in my kiddo's room, but I just haven't had the feeling to do it. But they ended on these two little not surprises, but bangers of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is getting paid DLC called Booster Course, Old Tracks Remastered. 8 tracks in 6 waves, all the way till 2023 for $25. Wave 1 starts on March 18th. And they also did the now newer thing of if you buy the online expansion membership of Nintendo Switch Online, you get it for free. You just gotta keep paying. I think there was a couple rumors last week that they were in the works of making Mario Kart 9. But I wonder if that's a misconstruction now it's going into this is just DLC, because this is all the way to 2023. So either those are very simple things to do, and they still got some people in the background, which is probably the answer, working on the next Mario Kart. But 28 times 6, 48. 48 new tracks all the way to 2023. That's a lot of Mario Kart. I wonder if that's the plan instead of making a new one outright. Then they also ended the show with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which will be apparently this story will tie the bridges of the first two games together, and that's out in September. But yeah, that's basically for that side of I wanted to express. I was also looking at for this week. Well, I guess, there is some things for this week. Besides, we already talked about Horizon, because I think that's really the crown gem of this week. We got the patch 1.5 for Cyberpunk is out, which also opened up that, hey, Cyberpunk PS5 Series X versions are out now. If you want, there is also, I think, a 5-hour demo of the whole game you can do now. You can also buy it digitally right now for $25, or go to your local GameStop. The physical discs you can buy pre-owned for $12. But yeah, I have not heard that there's any crazy game crashing bugs compared. I've only seen complimented things of saying like, hey, it's way better than it was before. Come check it out, blah, blah, blah. And I think the only other thing that's interesting is Platinum Games have kind of openly said, hey, we are really willing to be acquired, but the only guideline we want is be able to put our games on whatever platform we choose. But we don't, if you want to collect the check, like kind of how Bungie's story is right now and how Activision's story seems to be writing itself into Platinum Games. They even opened up. They were like this, hey, Phil, we'll do Scalebound if you want. But they were really looking for a buyer. I mean, hey, I don't know their logistics. I mean, that'd be really cool, whoever buys them. I don't know who. If I had to guess who would buy Platinum Games right now, out of everybody, I could see Embracer, the people who do THQ. I think they would pick up Platinum Games. Who would be the ones who would jump and say, yeah, I'll buy them? Compared to, I don't think Microsoft would buy Platinum just yet. I could be wrong, because I don't think they would say no. But the idea of, I could see Nintendo buying Platinum Games over, I take that back. It'll be Embracing Nintendo, then PlayStation. I think that would be my list of like who would be potential buyers for Platinum Games if they got their wish of getting acquired by somebody. They're also apparently like, we're not doing NFTs yet. We just obviously, I think they must be hurting. But yeah, I think that will do it for me this week. What are some other things? I guess also, like, I'm looking forward to, for even comic book wise, I am looking forward to DC kind of announced their summer event, which is going to be Dark Crisis. And long story short, it seems like it is, I think it's going in the right direction of how to look at the outright field of DC's comics, in the sense of this is going to happen after the Justice League people die, quote unquote. And I think this will be the first crisis that involves the sidekicks and all the people that fans love to kind of grab the helm and become the leaders that they should be by now, since it's been 80 years. But yeah, Dark Crisis definitely caught my eye for this summer. And then also Peacemaker has got the green light to be cut season 2. And for some reason, I have a feeling we are going to see, I think his name's Snowflamer or Snowflame, because James Gunn sounded like he knew about him already, but apparently it's coming in the future. And then but yeah, for this week's hot picks for movies or TV, for I think did I say it yet? For TV, go watch the Cuphead TV show. It actually came out, and I actually don't mind it. The only thing I have a problem with is that each episode is only 15 minutes. I know that's technically like you're just doing that's like how SpongeBob does 2 technically stories in one show, but god damn it, it's been out going, like they could have done it. And then for comics, all right, I got my little list. Hold on, let's go through. Aftershock doesn't got nothing of number ones, like you know how we do for this hot picks. Behemoth, Heavy Metal Drummer, number 1. Now boom, all new Firefly, number 1. If you like Firefly, the old sci-fi show. And then Buffy, the Last Vampire Slayer, number 1. Oh no, it was the second prank. Excuse me. So we don't need to even talk. Killer Affairs of the State, number 1 from Boom. And then keep it moving. We gotta get down. Oh, anything from Dark Horse that's number 1 that should matter? Nope. DC, what are we looking at? Aquaman, number 1. So it's going to be, because they're now kind of busheled all the Aquaman into a book to help in this connection thing. And they're looking forward to, I'm kind of looking forward to reading it. I also forgot to mention, they announced that there's a new Black Label book, which we'll hit it with a hot pick when it gets closer. But Ron V is going to do an Aquaman story for Black Label, so I think it's going to be a little bit more trippy at Aquaman Andromeda. But I digress. So we got the Aquaman, and then we'll see what else. Let's keep it going. Nothing more from DC. We'll keep it going. We got to keep it moving. I'm being a little slow, but also it's making sure I don't miss no number ones that matter. IDW. No number ones. Wow. Well, nope, not that. Image. Step by Bloody Step number 1. Supermassive number 1, a one shot. Mad Cave, nothing. Marvel. We'll get into Carnage Forever. Number 1 starts. Oh shit. I got to get to the comic shop. Then do we have any? Ghost Rider number 1 starts this week. Woo! So a new Ghost Rider starts this week. Oh snap. Forgot about, I didn't realize that. And then, what else? There's Star Wars Crimson Reign. Nope, the second printing. Okay, that's it for Marvel. We'll just double check. Scout Comics. Distorted number 1. King Jira number 1, which is a one shot. You only need that. And then, let me just double check to make sure nothing from Vault. That's number 1. Heathen Vault Reserve Edition number 1. So whatever that is. And yeah, that's it for that. And then for music, I'm going to just pick real quick. I gotta look at it again. 1 second. I'm gonna switch it up on it. It's gonna be Bad Habits from Ed Sheeran. But there's a new one that just came out this week with featuring Bring Me the Horizon. So there's a rock and roll version of Bring Me Bad Habits from Ed Sheeran. And yeah, that's this week's hot pick for music. And then, but yeah, that'll be it for the show. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for putting up with me. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully things go well in my end of possibly switching careers again. And then hopefully, you know what? Honestly, it's about, I hope this works so much that it gets me a layer of energy back. I don't know if it's the whole pandemic. I don't know if it's the whole, I've never even got COVID yet. I haven't got COVID. Not saying like that, but the idea of like, there has been a weird mentality with some people around me, and not just me, and like things I've seen on the internet. Like I feel a little bit more lethargic since the pandemic happened, and not in a, like, I know I'm a fucking fat fuck, but you know what I mean. The idea of like, you just like fuck. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it is the stress of being out there all day. When you're working, you have to wear a mask or something. You just think you're on edge. I don't think so. I don't even know. But just the idea, hopefully this next thing can be the thing I've been looking for a couple years now. And I can stick, you know, that's what I want. I want to be able to stick to it like I did the fucking casino for even years. I'd rather whine, but still feel like I can stay here for Kingdom Come compared to the other spots. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. And again, thank you for listening, all that stuff. I appreciate it. And like I say every week, y'all be good to each other. And I'll catch you next week. Peace.